to Center for Spiritual Living, La Crescenta. You may notice that we are in a different place on our campus today. We are having our sanctuary painted, which is very, very exciting. And for your information, we plan to be back here to open our church June 14th, and we would love to see every one of you here. Now, we are so blessed to have for our soloist today our very own Cecilia Celis. And I want to tell you a little bit about Cecilia. She's so humble, so somebody else has to talk about her because she won't. She is a celebrated piano teacher. She was the representative from the United States for a musical gathering in Japan. She taught a hearing impaired girl how to play the piano, and they were invited to the United Nations. So now you get to hear our beautiful music from our beautiful Cecilia Celis, and I want you to know that she's composing this as she plays. Cecilia Celis.
Good morning, everybody. I want to play a part of a song that you know, and we will take it from there. You can close your eyes after that and join me in prayer with this peace song.
Cecilia, thank you for your beautiful music. That was an original composition by Cecilia, and she always does a beautiful job, so we're very grateful to have you here with us. My name is Laney. I'm the practitioner on duty today, and I'm going to lead you in a meditation, but I'd like to set the tone with a couple readings that I think are quite fitting for what's going on in the world, and I know that we're all kind of caught up in the middle of it and in the fear space, concern space, and we just need to step back into that space of peace and love. So I'd like to share with you these readings. The first one is from Richard Rohr's Daily Meditation from the Center for Action and Contemplation. Mother Teresa diagnosed the world's ills in this way: we've just forgotten that we belong to each other. Kinship is what happens to us when we refuse to let that happen. With kinship as the goal, other essential things fall into place. Without it, no justice, no peace. I suspect that were kinship our goal, we would no longer be promoting justice, we would be celebrating it. Often we strike the high moral distance that separates us from them, and yet it is God's dream come true when we recognize that there exists no daylight between us. Serving others is good. It's a start. But it's just the halfway, it's just the hallway that leads to the grand ballroom. Kinship, not serving the other, but being one with the other. Jesus was not a man for others. He was one with them. There was a world of difference in that. No daylight to separate us. Only kinship, inching ourselves closer to creating a community of kinship such that God might recognize it. Soon we imagine with God this circle of compassion. Then we imagine no one standing outside of that circle, moving ourselves closer to the margins so that the margins themselves will be erased. We stand there with those whose dignity has been denied. We locate ourselves with the poor and the powerless and the voiceless. At the edges, we join the easily despised and the readily left out. We stand with the demonized so that the demonizing will stop. We situate ourselves right next to the disposable so that the day will come when we stop throwing people away. The prophet Habakkuk writes, "The vision still has its time, presses on to fulfillment, and it will not disappoint. And if it delays, wait for it." Kinship is what God presses us on to, always hopeful that its time has come. And I'd like to share the wisdom of Louise Hay. The wisdom of Louise has never been more needed in our world than right now. Her message resonates deeply and reminds us of the power of love, hope, and faith. By embracing faith instead of fear, we become an example of the love and strength needed to help change the world. Peace was never won with violence, and faith has never been met with darkness. Let us become the deliverers of hope through our intention to make the world a better place, one moment and one action at a time. More than ever, there seems to be so much in the world to fear, on the news, in life, and in the very fabric of our existence. The wonderful thing about fear is we can change that fear into faith. Though that may sound difficult, it is actually a simple shift of our own intent and perspective. Each of us has the ability to influence the world, see the beauty in life, and spread faith through our actions and attitudes and actions. Love is the opposite of fear. It is time for us to release old beliefs and old habits. As we continue to learn and practice new beliefs and new methods of behavior, we will contribute harmoniously to the new order of the world. We have to do everything we can to strengthen our hearts, our bodies, and our minds. We must turn to the power within, find a good spiritual connection, and really work on maintaining it. Then we are in faith and not fear. So with those words that I've shared, I'd like for you to have that seed of thought in your mind and just take in a nice breath. And as you breathe in, know that you are breathing in love. Just feel that love just surging through your body, every cell, every muscle. It is all love. And as you exhale, exhale love into the world. Just breathe it out and know that that's how we change the world. We are one with the very heart of creation. And that creation is love. Love like there is no end to it, because there is not. You always have the power. You just have to turn it on with prayer, with an idea, with your creativity, with love. Breathe in that love and exhale that love into the world. Love is a place to come from, and love is always yours to do. And begin with loving yourself, where God lives, where unlimited love is in you. Perfect love banishes fear. And feel that power, the presence, to feel the love. There is no place it is not. And just take a second and feel that power of love within your heart, within your soul. And know that it is in every single person. See each other. Talk to each other. God talking to God. Heart to heart. With love, understanding, compassion, with peace. And just taking another breath in. And take a breath out. And as you come back to this moment, to be present in this moment, know that each breath is refreshing and renewing, and that you are sharing love with that breath. You are in love with that breath that is shared by all. And so it is. Amen.
Hello, I'm Susan Zollinger. I'm a practitioner in training here at Center for Spiritual Living La Crescenta. And now is the time to join in song and sing, "And So It Is." Please join me. God is all there is. I am one with the Spirit. I realize the truth, and I speak it. I am thankful for it all. I release it, I let it go, and so it is.
as I believe. Amen. Amen. Amen.
And now it's time for our reading from Science of Mind, page 328. Great spiritual philosophers are mystics. The old prophets were mystics. David, Solomon, Jesus, Plotinus, and a score of others all had the same experience, the sense of a living presence. The greatest music ever composed was written by the hand of a mystic, and the highest and best in art has come from men of spiritual perception. Man has compelled nature to do his bidding. He has harnessed electricity, caught the wind, trapped steam, and made them do his will. He has invented machines to do the work of thousands. He has belted the globe with his traffic and built up a wonderful civilization. But in few cases has he conquered his own soul. The mystic has revealed things that do not pass as ships in the night. He has revealed eternal verities and has plainly taught us that there is a living presence indwelling in all. This constitutes the greatest intellectual and spiritual heritage of the ages. The balance of our knowledge of God must come as a direct impartation from Him. We must learn it for ourselves, and so it is.
And now today, our lesson is the power of music. With all the things that have been going on in the world today, my brain was going every which way, and I knew that I had to do something different. So I've been listening to music. Classical music works really, really well for me. It just calms me down almost in an instant. Now I have some quotes for you about music and how beneficial it is for all of us. Music has been scientifically proven to have a powerful effect on the brain. Recent research shows that music can help in many aspects of the brain, including pain reduction, stress relief, memory, and brain injuries. In the book, The Power of Music, Elena Manns says, scientists have found that music stimulates more parts of the brain than any other human function. Elton John said, music has healing power. It has the ability to take people out of themselves for a few hours. And author Matt Haig, in How to Stop Time, wrote, music doesn't get in. Music is already in. Music simply uncovers what is there, makes you feel emotions that you didn't necessarily know you had inside you, and runs around waking them all up. A rebirth of sorts. And that is author Matt Haig in How to Stop Time. And Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung said, music should be an essential part of every analysis. Every analysis. I was asked once, if you had to choose between food and music, what would you choose? And I actually said, I would choose music. Now I'm going to share with you a story that about 17-year-old Gracie, she'd always been an athlete, and her coaches and teammates recognized her as a hard worker. And she was usually among the first to finish the difficult running drills that kept her in shape to play basketball. But when she started slipping from the front of the pack to trailing her teammates, she had an inkling that something bigger might be at play. At first I was worried that I was just out of shape. So I kept pushing myself, Gracie said, but then I was having a hard time catching my breath during games, and I was wearing out quickly, which didn't feel normal. When she developed a golf ball-sized lump on the side of her neck, She thought it was time to see her doctor, who told her it was likely just a virus, but to keep an eye on it just in case something changed. 3 days later, she had 2 golf ball-sized bumps on the other side of her neck. Not long after, she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. What came next was a roller coaster of difficult treatments, procedures, good news, and bad news. Gracie started treatment right away, undergoing multiple rounds of chemotherapy and radiation and taking oral chemo pills regularly. It appeared the treatment was working, and she was declared in remission until a devastating relapse sent her back to the starting line. It became clear that Gracie's best option to beat her cancer was a stem cell transplant, an often risky procedure that would keep her in the hospital months to recover. This meant months away from her friends and her usual activities. Feeling sick and knowing a long road to recovery was ahead, but before starting the procedure, Gracie met Greta, a music therapist at the University of Minnesota. Greta told Gracie that she could try a music therapy session just to see if she'd be interested. Children's Cancer Research Fund helps provide funding for the music therapy program, which is laying the groundwork for future expansion. I figured I'd give it a shot, Gracie said. I have a music background and I play a few instruments, but I typically don't like to play in front of other people because it makes me nervous. But I tried it out anyway. The first time Greta visited Gracie, she brought a ukulele and an instrument Gracie had been hoping to learn for a long time. See, I call these things God things. She had in her mind, she had put into the divine law of mind that she would like to play a ukulele. And what does the teacher show up with? A ukulele. Greta taught Gracie a few beginning chords, and in almost no time, she was hooked. Despite the exhaustion and nausea that Gracie battled after her transplant, she practiced her 3 chords until blisters formed on her fingers. When you're recovering from a transplant, they are very careful about any ways you can get an infection because you have no immune system at all, Gracie said. With just those 3 chords, I played so much over the weekend that my ukulele had to be taken away because they wanted my fingers to heal. By this time, her mind and her heart had connected with the music. It's hard for Gracie to explain exactly how music therapy helped her through her long hospital stay, but she knows for sure that it did. Some days she was so sick that she couldn't get out of bed, so she mostly stayed in bed until Greta was there. Greta taught Gracie new chords on the ukulele as she recovered from stem cell transplant. For some reason, I would completely forget I was sick for the hour that she was there, Gracie said. She would make little deals with me. Like if I got out of bed and walked to the couch, she would teach me a new chord. Even just getting out of bed was a huge deal for me. I don't think I ever got sick while Greta was there, and I felt sick every day for months. I'm going to repeat that because she said, for some reason, I would completely forget I was sick for the hour that she was there. Gracie says the incredible benefits of music therapy didn't end when she left the hospital. She uses the songs she learned on the ukulele to escape when she's sad or not feeling well. She remembers how it helped her get out of bed when she was feeling her worst. Even today, music helps her look on the bright side, even in moments that seem dark. She even wrote an essay about how much music therapy had helped her, called Listen to the Healing Happen. Listen to the Healing Happen, which recently won her local Rotary Club's annual essay contest. Today, Gracie is in remission and busy preparing her college applications. Her grades are great and she's keeping her options open, but she's seriously considering attending the University of Minnesota, possibly to become a music therapist herself. It sounds crazy, but my time at the University of Minnesota was such a positive experience for me, and I loved my time with Greta so much that I've been thinking about music therapy as a profession, Gracie said. Greta helped me so much, And I want to do that for other people. As she moves forward from the cancer experience, Gracie looks back with an emotion some may think is strange for someone in her situation. Thankfulness. Everyone laughs when I say this, but if I could go back, I would not change a single thing, she said. It doesn't mean I didn't struggle, but I'm thankful for the people I've met and the experience I've learned, like how to advocate for myself or how to look for the positives in a dark situation. I'm thankful for cancer because it changed me in a positive way. And the cancer led her to music, my friends. And as I said earlier, because of the chaos that's going on in the world today, I too have turned to music. I remember once a long time ago, I was driving along and traffic was, I shouldn't say driving along, it was like choose your parking lot. The traffic was so bad. My mother was with me. And I turned on the radio and was listening to music, and my mother started laughing. And I said, why are you laughing? She said, because music changed your whole demeanor. You were complaining about the traffic, and when music came on, you were a different person. And I am inviting you today to please consider, again, in these times, to bring music into your life. In our area, in Southern California, we have KUSC that I tune into a lot, classical music. And it is absolutely wonderful. Classical music lifts your spirits. And our dear Cecilia, who played for us, is classically trained and knows all of the wonderful classical songs. So I have another quote that I want to share with you. Oliver Sacks, best-selling author and professor of neurology at New York University School of Medicine. Music can lift us out of depression or move us to tears. It is a remedy, a tonic, orange juice for the ear. But for many of my neurological patients, music is even more. It can provide access, even when no medication can, to movement, to speech, to life. For them, music is not a luxury, but a necessity. Music is not a luxury, but a necessity. And I'm encouraging you today to make music a part of your daily life, just as important as spiritual practices. Make sure that you find some type of music that you can relate to. I remember I was growing up in the 50s and rock and roll had just come around. And I loved it. I really, really, really liked it. And my parents actually liked the songs that were happening then. And then came my kids along. And I have to say, I didn't appreciate their music. It just didn't land on my ears properly. But I let them listen to it because it inspired them. So everybody has their own kind of music they like to listen to. Our own Cecilia Celis, who had played for us, has a CD that is absolutely wonderful. I play it lots. Lately I've been going to bed listening to KUSC, but before that, every night I went to bed with Cecilia's CD because it made me calm. And that's what we have to consider today, my friends. I want you to consider that in this world today, and in the teaching of religious science, we are all one. We are one. And it doesn't matter race, culture, ethnicity. It doesn't matter. We are one. We are all of the human race. And I can't even begin to tell you. Please ascribe to this way of thinking. I believe that the majority of individuals in this world do believe about oneness. I do believe that. And the demonstrations we've had lately pretty much proves it, doesn't it? There is no reason, there is no place in this world for prejudice, for ethnicities to be prosecuted, persecuted. Not at all. I also have something to share with you. We had a wonderful black couple here that came to church a few years ago, and both very well educated, better educated than I am. They were PhDs, and Jewel and Charles Henderson. And they moved back to Alabama, where she's from, to help black prisoners. And from time to time, I speak to Jewel. Charles has passed on, but I speak to Jewel, and you know, she said to me that made my heart so sad, Beverly, they're still fighting the Civil War here. My friends, there is no place in this world, for the thinking that started the Civil War. So you can see how passionate I get about this. So when I get passionate about it, I turn to music. And I say, Father, Mother, God, thank you so much for helping me return to my center, to help me remember that all of humanity is one, to help me remember that I am here to speak for my fellow people, friends, to have you know that God wants us all to love everyone. God wants us to love every single person on this planet. Now, you're going to go, yeah, but what about the ones in jail? Many, many people have stories. Everybody has a story. I'm always interested in listening to people's stories, but everyone in jail has a story. And we can pray for them. We can pray for them and know and accept and claim that no matter what anyone has done, God loves everybody. God loves everybody. And then again, a reminder for you to come back to your center with music and use the affirmation, we are one. We are one in this world. We are one. And so ends our lesson.
And now it's time for our offertory affirmation. It will be on your screen that you can read along with me. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
We are so deeply grateful for those tithes and offerings that have been sent to our center. It's kept us alive during these times when everything was shut down. Of course, you probably know the saying that church is open. The church is open, but other things are shut down, and you know it's open because you've been getting these wonderful lessons every Sunday. Again, thank you so much, and keep the tithes coming. That's what's keeping us alive, and so it is.
Please join me in singing our offertory, I Am So Blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed.
And now some coronavirus one-liners that may tickle your funny bone. The world is turned upside down. Old folks are sneaking out of the house, and the young kids are telling them to stay indoors. if you need 144 rolls of toilet paper to get through a 1-month quarantine, you should probably have seen a doctor long before COVID-19. My husband bought a large world map and gave me a dart and said, "Throw this, and where it lands, that's where I'll take you when the pandemic ends." Turns out we're spending 2 weeks behind the fridge. I thought the comment, "I wouldn't touch him or her with a 6-foot pole," would become national policy, but here we are. 2 grandmothers were bragging about their precious little darlings. One of them says to the other, "Mine are so good at social distancing, they won't even call me." Good morning. Thanks for coming.
And now our benediction. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is happening through my mind,
It is happening through my mind,
my body,
my
and every aspect of my life.
and every aspect of my life.
I think it,
I think it,
I know it,
I know it,
I believe it,
I believe it,
I accept it.
I accept
I'm
it.
never alone,
I am never alone,
for God is right where I am,
for God is right where I am.
and so it is.